Hello, everyone. Yeah, we're here running Avowed. This is the latest Obsidian game that came out back in February, I think. It is an action RPG set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. First off, if my commentators want to go ahead and introduce themselves real quick.
I'm Ashley93oBTW, but I don't run this game, but I've been learning all about it, and I'm very excited to see it.
I'm CaptainEzekiel. I'm a horror speedrunner. I actually played this game casually, and Mike watched me play it, and that's what made him play it.
Funny bit of history right there. Yeah.
So in a way, I made this happen.
Thanks, bud. Glad to hear that. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start a new game here. We're not going to start time just yet. We're going to go ahead and make our character really, really fast first. I'm going to choose War Hero. I'll explain what that is for in just a moment. I'm going to set it to story time. And once I go ahead and skip this pop-up right here, we're going to go ahead and do time. So if we want to count on 3, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right, so like I said, this is an action RPG. It is not an isometric CRPG like the other Pillars of Eternity games. So we do have this first-person like Elder Scrolls style like gameplay loop going on in this game. And we start the game actually on this deserted island. We skip the cutscene for it, but like our ship gets shot down. So we are stuck on this island with this NPC named Garrick, who is our first companion that we get. He is going to be a temporary companion, though. And as you can see right here, this game it's basically, as I describe it to people, it is like Oblivion or Skyrim with like Doom 2016 mantling, as we're going to see right here. We're going to go up, and right now we are already out of bounds. We're going to be going out of bounds a lot in this run. Just get used to seeing it. It's usually just because of how generous the mantling system is. So I'm going to go ahead and do a jump right here. All right, nice.
That's dodge boosting?
Yep. So yeah, that is a tech we're going to be doing towards the early game, where I'm going to be doing what is a side dodge, basically, towards like sloped pieces of geometry, and that is basically going to send us up if we go ahead and release our jump key early enough. And we do that by just basically binding jump to the scroll wheel. I also have interact set to my up scroll. And right now we're almost already at the end of the tutorial right here. So normally this is a pretty long section right here where we have to fight a boss at the end, but we're not gonna do any of that. We're just gonna go straight to the end right here. And after we go right here, drop down, cutscene, talk to Garrick, and we're out of here.
That was a really good tutorial.
Yeah,
very nice.
solid.
He made that look incredibly easy, but that's actually so much tech.
The movement in the tutorial is like, no joke, the hardest part of the run, or like one of the hardest parts of the run. So now we are going to be introduced here in the first area, which is Dawnshore, to our buddy Kai. If you recognize his voice, by the way, he is voiced by Brandon Keener, who is the voice of Garrus in Mass Effect. And he is just doing the exact same voice in this game, basically. Oh, we got a funny deload, so I'm going to go ahead and quick save, quick load here. Very funny marathon RNG. This is a thing that can happen sometimes with this game, where characters just don't get loaded in, but it's okay. If we quick save, quick load, it'll fix it. All right, there she is.
How many waters are we
How many waters are we getting, ma'am?
If you're
3?
Oh, you're funny. Okay, I knew it. All right, so there is. Yeah, it was 2. So there is some funny bit of RNG that can happen with that NPC right there, where basically she sells fresh water. No joke, fresh water, which is a consumable item we can use in this game, is, no joke, one of the best consumables in the game because it gives us 25% movement speed and it lasts for 5 minutes. It is amazing. A lot of the run hinges on basically just keeping your water up. So literally, it is important to stay hydrated in this game. And we're going to go ahead and grab this axe that we're going to be using for a little bit of the early game. And while we're running to the first boss here, Oscar, if you want to go ahead and just read a dono real quick, go ahead.
Absolutely. Also, we are less than $2,000 away from that goal, and we have $50 from Otto, who says, good luck on the run, Mike. Praying for good RNG.
The legend.
And of course, don't forget to hydrate.
Oh, there we go. All right. Make sure I did that menu right. Okay.
So you were going out of your way to get the shield, which gives you movement speed buff, right?
Yeah, so that shield we just picked up in that cove gives us a 10% movement speed buff. As you're going to see, a lot of the routing in the early game revolves around us just like picking up more and more items that make us faster and faster until we get to the movement speed cap, which we'll talk about a little bit more in depth later. As you can see right now, I'm like sliding around a lot while jumping. This is the fastest way to get around, at least for our current movement speed. It is going to become obsolete later as we pick up more and more buffs. And we're going to be doing another jump right here on some funny geometry right here. This jump can be a little bit funny sometimes. There we go. And get up on this cliffside right here. And this is gonna take us pretty much to the end of this first den that we need to go to. We were gonna go and fight the first boss. This was literally a bear. It is a corrupted bear. It's called a Dream Thrall bear, I think. Pick up a grenade right here. I'm gonna do a little bit of menuing right here. We're gonna put our might at 6, dex at 5. Pick up some more upgrades that we need. And we're gonna basically use Kai right here to get aggro off us while we go ahead and swing at this bear and kill it. We have it stunned right here. I'm gonna like keep doing a little bit more damage on it. And when we press M1 while it's stunned like this, we'll do this like epic like Skyrim cam style kill right here. Pick up some items right here because we need the weight right here for this NPC. And we basically came over here to kill this bear so we could save this guy, which is the ambassador. I can go ahead and give us a little bit of a catch up on the lore in just a moment. First, we're gonna do another skip. We need to get out of this bear den pretty fast because we have a fast travel restriction placed on us. Oh, almost got, okay. Let me see if I can navigate this. This is like a kind of a weird spot. Okay, I think we got it. There we go. And, all right, nice, we're out of here.
Nice.
So yeah, we did a little bit of an out of bounds there just to get out of that den as quickly as possible, just so we can get the fast travel restriction taken off us. Because basically what the way to fast travel works in this game is that we have to pick up these beacons. You just run by a beacon and it'll unlock fast travel for that point for the rest of the game. We've picked up one on our way to pick up that shield. And now we're gonna be running to the main city, which is Paradise of this first area. And as you're gonna see, we're not going the traditional route, and there's a reason for that. First off though, we're gonna get up this wall with what we sometimes call the getting over it strat. If we can do this real quick. There we go. Yeah, just weapon swing up that sloped wall right there. I'm gonna go ahead and swap sets right here. All right. I'm gonna wait just a moment just so we are out of combat. It's taking us a moment. All right, we might have, okay, it's not letting me make a save. All right, first off. Oh no, I think I messed up. I don't think we're gonna make it, guys. Oh, never mind, we're okay.
There you go.
No, I was just playing with you guys.
Scared me, Mike.
Yeah, so now we're in Paradise, and if you played the game before, you might have realized something's wrong, and that is this part right here. Our character is literally supposed to die as we go into the city, and this nurse right here is the NPC who like we wake up to and who we have to talk to, and she's reacting like, oh my God, you just died. You literally died. And it's like, nah, yeah, sure. Yeah, that definitely happened, yeah. Yeah, it's just faster, because otherwise we have to watch like an unskippable cutscene, and it's really, really long. So right here, we're gonna move on to the next skip. Oscar, if you wanna go ahead and read one more dono, by the way, go ahead.
Perfect timing. Sergeant Sphinx PE has donated $1,000 with the comment, because everyone can use a good ending these days. Agreed. And friends, we are $1,366 away from getting that good ending incentive. Let's get that hit right now, chat.
Let's do it, guys. All right, so now we're gonna be moving on to what we call the estate skip. So back where that bear was and the ambassador was who we saved, there was another NPC who died off screen who is called the Clavager, and they are basically like the ruler of the city. And we need to go to his estate basically. Oh, I messed up that jump. It's okay, I made a quick save. We're basically doing an out of bounds right here where we're gonna go straight to the estate, because normally it's kind of like a mini dungeon where it's being ransacked by these bandits. We're not gonna do any of that, of course. All right, nice, I got a mantle right here. Nice. Okay, and we're in. And we got the key we needed, there we go. All right, so basically what we're supposed to find out when we go in there is that the Clavager, who's like the ruler, is helping out the Paradisian rebels. I'll go ahead and just do a little bit of a lore catch-up. So basically what's going on in the narrative of this game, it has a very Dances with Wolves, Avatar 2009 style narrative, where our character is an ambassador, or like an envoy from Adir, I think it is. And the guy, the ambassador we saved, he's kind of like our kinsman almost. And in the Wildlands, I think that's what this continent is called. It has been so long since I played this game casually. He's basically like, everyone here hates us because we're colonizers and stuff. We're kind of the bad guys, and like a lot of the story revolves around us realizing we are kind of the bad guys. So yeah, the Paradisian rebels, who we're gonna find out are the ones who tried to kill us, are hiding out underneath this church in the middle of town. And we're gonna be going there in just a moment, but first, we have to go talk to this watcher who is kind of like a in-universe fortune teller who's gonna tell us what happened when we died. in who the mysterious voice that talked to us and revived us was. But we're gonna do a little bit of a skip here. We're going again, we're not taking the scenic route. We're taking the fast way, which is by going up there, and we're already here. Because normally you have to go around through this like mountain passage to get to this NPC. So we're just gonna let her yap for a little bit. Yeah, and I'll go ahead and explain this right now also. If you see me skipping the dialogue really fast, what's going on is that I have just a macro set up to skip dialogue. It is allowed for this game, and I'm very thankful that it is, because there is so much dialogue to skip in this game, especially if you run it a lot like I do. And now we're going to be moving on back to the ambassador. We need to talk to him one more time, basically, to advance the main storyline. Oscar, if you want to go ahead and knock out like 2 or 3 donos while this is going on, go ahead. This guy yapped for a lot.
$50 from I'm Stossable, who says, donating towards the Avowed good ending. It feels like we need more of those these days. $10 from the Master DS. Avowed was a great run. Surprised to see this under an hour already. Can't wait to see how that's possible. CVRCR/Corey donates $25 saying, it's been so keen to see Avowed broken. Just finished a playthrough myself a few days back. Best of luck on the run, and let's get that good ending. And we are closer and closer. About $1,000 left, and we are running out of time. MikeWave is absolutely blazing through this run, so we need to hit that donation incentive right now. ! Donate in chat and put it towards that incentive. Let's go, Twitch chat.
I believe in you, chat. All right, so we are now in the final dungeon of the first zone. I'm gonna do some fun parkour to get up on these rafters right here. As you can see, the mantling system, when you're at an obtuse angle. All right, I'm gonna have to load this. I did mess up right there. As you're gonna see, the parkour in this game is very, very generous, especially when you're looking at like ledges from like an obtuse angle like I am right here. The game will just like register that as like, oh yeah, you for sure snapped onto this ledge. And right now we're trying to jump on this lamppost right here and charge over. Nice, so we're at the top of the dungeon now. Normally this is supposed to be like the very end of the dungeon here. And we're gonna be doing one more skip here. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Get ready. My money says our assassins on the
All right,
other
nice,
side
I made a
of that
save.
door.
We're gonna go ahead and attack. This is the assassin who attacked us earlier, who was supposed to have attacked us. Nice, I got through. Okay, so there's a very tight window there that I just was able to charge through that door. It usually shuts automatically once you initiate that fight. And with us leaving, we're gonna go ahead and de-aggro the enemies right now as we're far enough away, and we're just gonna leave. So that was the assassin who tried to kill us earlier. We confronted him, we attacked him, and then we left. And what's going on now is that because we left the dungeon after we initiated the fight, the game is just gonna assume that we killed him, which we definitely did, you guys. And what that's gonna allow us to do actually is just gonna go ahead and we're gonna be able to wrap up the main quest line for this zone at least. And if you have played the game casually, you might have noticed, hey, he didn't pick up Marius. Yeah, you're not gonna be seeing Marius this run. Until the very end, maybe. Oh, is she gonna jump in? Ah, damn. All right, it's fine. So yeah, we skipped Marius completely, thanks to that. So now we're gonna be in a bugged game state, basically, where we're gonna be bugged at a party select, where the game is not gonna allow us to choose more than one party member, as you're gonna see later. And it's actually gonna make the game faster, because as you see, when we get to the end here, to this post-wrap, this is like the end of the zone, we're running to the exit right here. The dialogue is just gonna, that's normally supposed to play there, is just going to end, because like Marius is just not there. And it's actually gonna, again, save around 10 seconds worth of dialogue that we would normally have to skip. While we're running there though, Oscar, if you wanna go ahead and do another dono.
All right, we have broken $1,000, so we are getting closer and closer to that incentive. Mr. Popo donates $25 saying, donating for the Kai, does some calibrations cuts. I mean the good ending. Keep that coming, Twitch chat. We are getting closer and closer and not much time left.
All right. So yeah, normally there's supposed to be a dialogue that plays there, but we just go ahead and leave. And now we're gonna be moving on to the second zone of the game, which is Emerald Stair. So that is basically how this game is structured. There are 5, technically 6, if you wanna count the epilogue kinda as its own zone, zones that we have to get through. Each one of them ends with a like a dungeon, basically, that you normally need a party member to get through. And we're gonna be moving here to the capital city, which is Fjord. And there we're gonna be meeting the next companion that we pick up, who is Giada. First off, though, I have to remember, because we got 2 waters earlier, we are going to get to meet my favorite NPC in the game, or at least one of them.
I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah. Trust me, this guy is awesome. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and buy some more water from him so we have enough for the rest of the run, basically. And also, I'm going to go ahead and buy some essence food off him as well, just for the late game. Just will be super, super safe. But yeah, before we get there, Oscar, this is kind of a slow part. If you want to go ahead and do one more dono, go ahead.
Absolutely. We have $5 from Support Bot. Greetings, SGDQ. How are you holding on during this first day? My favorite thing about GDQ is that I get to discover games I have never even heard about, so how exciting is that? We are now $615 away from getting that incentive, and don't forget, friends, you can use the Twitch extension to donate to this wonderful cause that is Doctors Without Borders. So let's see that happen.
Yeah, that was the NPC right there, by the way, the We Have guy. A long, long time ago, that guy was a regular part of the route, but he has since been routed out as the run has gotten more optimized. So right here, we walked in on a fight that happened, basically an argument that happened between the governor of the city and Giada, who is going to be the next main NPC that we are going to encounter. First off, we're going to go inside here, though. Hold on, I got to equip this. There we go. So in that chest, I picked up a Valiant chest plate, which is a chest plate that is going to give us another 25% movement speed. And we're at the part of the game now where we are basically just like stacking like all our movement speed buffs, and where we are basically getting to like nearing the movement speed cap, I should say. First off, though, we need to go ahead and do this lengthy quest chain for Giada. Unfortunately, we cannot really find a way to skip this. We basically have to go around and do some fetch quests for her by basically talking to all of these NPCs. That first guy we talked to, Mondo, we need to basically fix his machine, and to do that we need an Adragon heart, which we're going to get from the Delomgon Queen in just a moment. First off, though, we're going to go on this very brief detour here. This is going to come into play later. We are grabbing some fast travel points that we're going to need later, so I'm going to go up north here, because we are really going to need this beacon later. Cool. I'm going to zoom out. We're going to fast travel back here to the front of the city. And now we are basically going to be moving towards the west side of the map, where we are going to encounter the Delomgon Queen. We're going to be doing one more thing, though, which is we're going to be picking up another beacon that we're also going to need a couple more times. I go ahead and like just explain right now. The ability we got earlier is called Shadow. It is basically an ability that lets us go into Cloak, and enemies cannot see us at the cost of gradually decreasing our essence, which is like the mana system in this game. And the other ability we have is Charge, which I'm going to use right here to get across this river. As you're going to notice, Charge is like straight up one of the best abilities in the game. I would argue it's maybe the second best ability now, once we get a little bit later into the run. And we upgraded it towards the end of Dawnshore. So as you can see, it's just giving us so much distance. And the fact that we can use it mid-air is a large component of what makes so many of these skips possible. Even early on, I think everyone kind of knew Charge was going to be like one of the best like speedrun abilities in this game. It's on such a short cooldown too. And we're going to be moving on here. We're getting close to the Delomgon Queen. Oscar, if you want to go ahead and fit in one or two more donos before the run like really picks up, like go ahead.
Go for it. We are $400 away from getting this incentive. $350 away, friends. $50 from Jen saying, let's go! And $25 from Jopa Slugger says, SGDQ, hype! We also have $25 from Punderin, who says, donating to be the best aunt ever. I agree, you are the best aunt ever. And we are now $280 away. Number go up, friends. Let's get that incentive.
We can do this, Chad. All right, so now we're going to be getting to the Delomgon Queen here. So the main reason we got Shadow so early is just for this part mainly. Because if we cast Shadow and then none of the enemies see us here, then the Delomgon Queen, when we go up to her, will just be super chill and it's like, oh yeah, I have it. I have the Adragon heart. Here you go. And then we just leave. Because if you fight any enemies there, you have to pass a speech check basically to not fight anything, which obviously kind of unoptimal. Fighting her also unoptimal. So yeah, just getting Shadow, especially when we're going to need it so much later, huge boon. So I went ahead and loaded an autosave here just so we can go ahead and maintain our water buff, just so time wouldn't pass as we fast travel to the camp there. I'm going to be doing a funny strat here where we're going to be doing a charge on this ledge right here. I'm going to be throwing some grenades, some soul pods they're technically called, at that enemy. The Revenant is what they're called, at that barn. because this next NPC, who's part of the Giada quest line, is basically going to ask us, hey, can you go kill that revenant that's inside my barn? It's like locked inside. And we just did it already, so the game gives us an option to like just do dialogue and go, oh yeah, I already did that. And she's like, oh, okay, bye. And then that's it. And now, luckily enough, the last two NPCs we need to talk to are right here, right next door. And all they really are going to do is just yap a little bit. So just skip some dialogue, make sure they don't yap a little bit extra. And now that they're done talking, we're going to go ahead and fast travel back to Fior. So now all we need to do is just talk to Mondo, put their Adragon heart in, and then he's going to be, okay, thanks. And then we go talk to Giada, and then Giada is going to ask us, hey, can you go into my basement to grab this one tool? I forgot what it's called. Please forgive me. It's basically a tool she needs for us to advance the game. So I'm going to put this in. Again, scroll wheel, interact, really, really strong in this game. We kind of make a joke that like all the animancers, I think they're called, all the animancer NPCs in this game are just big yappers. They love talking in this game for some reason, including Giada. So this is Giada right here. She's going to be our companion in just a moment. Again, we just have to do this one final task.
Speaking of just a moment, MikeWave, guess what?
I think I know.
You are going to be getting the good ending. Thank you so much, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause.
No, genuinely, thank you so much, guys. That's going to be a lot of fun to show. All right, so now that we went inside, we're going to talk to Giada. Basically what happened is her parents got turned into the tree people from Annihilation, if you've seen that movie. And
unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky. Yeah, so now she joined our party. We got her tool that she needed. And just to speak for a moment, Giada is the most broken party member in this game. It is not even close. Even if you're playing casually on hardest difficulty, she's the most broken companion. In the speedrun, she is really, really broken because she has an ability called Acceleration that I went ahead. Oh, I made a mistake here. It's okay. She has an ability called Acceleration, which for 25 seconds by default makes us run 25% faster. Kind of self-explanatory. And we can buff it again to basically, make sure I'm drinking water here actually, cool. We have an option to buff it again with a squad member point so that it lasts an extra 10 seconds. So now it's going to last 35 seconds. And all the cooldowns in this game refresh in between load states. So you're basically going to be able to use it anytime we go through a door in this game. It's amazing. And I also went ahead and grabbed another ability from her called Time Shift, which makes it so that when Acceleration is active, all my cooldowns get slashed in half, which is going to be super, super useful.
MikeWave?
Oh,
two
back to back.
I got to cut in here. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. Go ahead.
Friends, we just hit $100,000 raised for Doctors Without Borders. Awesome job. Thank you so much. And you know what? We are almost $10,000 away from specifically donating with the Twitch extension. So keep it coming. Thank you so much for your kind generosity, friends.
No, good job, everyone.
Nice, nice.
All right, so while that was going on, we went ahead and picked up this book. It's called a Grimoire inside this cave. It's called the Grimoire of Storms. It is straight up going to be the best item we pick up in this entire game. Grimoires give you access to additional spells that you can then level up and then use without a Grimoire. And that Grimoire had an ability called Crackling Bolt. Crackling Bolt is the best ability in the game now. And one, it's a great damage ability. It's like a pinball projectile that goes between enemies and bounces between all of them. I'm going to go ahead and equip it right here. Go up to 12 might. We're going to go ahead and start upgrading right here. But furthermore, there is an additional component to Crackling Bolt that is just completely broken this game in half, which is that there is a tech we can do where we use the bolt to basically launch ourselves up by jumping onto it. So I'm going to do the first one right here. Hopefully this goes well. There we go. Oh, okay. I didn't get enough height on that one. Yeah, this is a really hard piece of tech, but it is like been groundbreaking for this game's development. So there we go. Okay, so now we're going to be using this to go out of bounds. We're in the dungeon, Naku Tedek right now. This is the final dungeon of this zone, at least. All right, I can like hardly see. Let's see if we get this. Nice. And we're kind of dropping now to the bottom floor of the dungeon. We're going to clip through this round right here, and now we're in the final room. I'm going to use a spell right here. Hopefully these enemies will die. The enemies here can be kind of funny sometimes. All right. Very good. Nice.
Nice. That was great.
Yeah, that was really good. Wow. That was a really, really good skip. Okay. So now we're going to be introduced to this NPC here. As you can see, they look kind of weird, and that is because it is a literal god. It is the god that has been talking to us in our head the entire time. They are a major NPC called Sapidal. They are basically the god of this continent that nobody knows about until now that we just discovered. And Sapidal is basically going to give us access to a lot of additional abilities later. There's one particularly that's going to be of very big use later. But first off, we're going to go ahead and leave the dungeon right here. And when we leave, we're going to find out that the bad guys of the game, the Steel Garou, are basically burning Fjord down, like the city that we were just in. They're burning it down. It's a major narrative turning point. But first, let's see if we can go up. All right. There's a pretty tricky boost here. What I'm going to be trying to do here, normally you're in an area now where you are not allowed to fast travel at all. And we have to basically run throughout the entire zone. All right, Giada, please. There we go. Nice. And what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to just try to go up high enough using Giada buff and Bolt. Nice. I'm going to go ahead and mantle here. So what's going on now is that our Y coordinates are high enough that the game is going to go ahead and just put us over that fast travel restriction and going to allow us to just go all the way to the end, basically. This is the part of the game, by the way, where everything is going to speed up by a lot. All of a sudden, it's going to be like, oh, you're not doing this part? You're not doing this part? Yeah, no. This is the part of the game where like we start skipping a lot of content. So while we're talking to the survivors here, Oscar, if you want to go ahead and read one more dono, go ahead.
I'm going to do it 2 for the price of 1. $10 from Big No-No, Mike__wave. Thank you so much. And we also have a wonderful mysterious benefactor who donated $4,000 with the comments 100K. Hype!
Hype?
Hype?
Thank you for those donations, Doctors Without Borders, friends.
All right, so we have to talk to these NPCs first before we can leave. She's part of the Steel Garou. Normally you can fight her there, but obviously it is a lot faster not to fight her. And here the dialogue is going to be broken after Kai is done talking because Marius isn't here, so we just get to instantly leave. Now this part is really, really broken now. So normally we would have to go to Thirdborn, which is going to be the capital of this area. You're going to see, though, that we're not going to be going there for a little bit. Instead, we are going to be going straight to the last dungeon of this zone. So I'm going to make a quick save here. I'm going to be doing another bolt boost over here. Charge over here. So now we're out of bounds again. And we're going to go ahead, sneak through this crack right here. And what we're doing now is the final dungeon of this area, Naku Kabel, has an outdoor trial segment with a bunch of booby traps that is linked to the rest of the overworld for some reason. Normally, it's not supposed to be accessible. You're not allowed to be able to get there, but it is tied to the rest of the overworld. So by going out of bounds here, we're going to be able to just go here. If I hopefully I'm not jinxing this. Nice. Okay, there's a funny deload that can happen here, but it did not happen. Nice. All right, so I'm going to be doing a funny jump here with a charge, and now we are in Naku Kabel. We have Giada buff, so I'm going to be able to get past a lot of these booby traps. And now we're going to be going in for the back entrance of the dungeon. And this part right here, this is like arguably the hardest part of the game. This is what we've been calling Yatsley skip. So normally there's a companion we're supposed to be getting here called Yatsley first. A jump onto an invisible mantle here. Nice. Easy. There we go. So we went ahead and just jumped to the middle of this pit, and that's going to go ahead and trigger the dungeon to end. So we're basically done with the dungeon now. However, the game expects you to have this companion, Yatsley, with you at this point. And if you don't, the dialogue gets bugged out here, and we are soft locked down here. Assuming, all right, I need to do this again. Assuming you don't have some weird form of tech that gives you a lot of verticality, you know? So we're going to go ahead and see if we can go ahead and get a bounce here. This is like probably the hardest bounce in the game. Let me see if I can get this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, make a quick save, quick load here to refresh the cooldown. So there is a backup strat we could do here if you don't get it first try. Let me see if I can get this.
We should go.
Just barely.
Very close.
Yeah, so with mantling in this game, you can only mantle if you actually jump before you start falling. And when you get hit by the bolt, all right, there we go, we got it. Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, normally when you bounce, the game does not consider you. Also, I have to drink a pot here. I'm going to wait a sec for safety. There we go. So normally when you are bouncing, the game does not consider it that you jumped because you landed on the projectile before it launched you up. So yeah, we can't use the mantle to get us out of a situation like that. But now we went ahead and triggered basically the end of the zone after we talked to Sapidal there. I'm gonna go ahead and do a charge across this gap over here. And I use Cloak there just to not initiate combat with the enemies since we can't talk to NPCs or interact with stuff while we're in combat. And we're gonna get over here to Ludwin, who is basically the leader of the Steel Garou. She's the main bad guy of the game. She's gonna be telling you, hey, you need to destroy this temple like right now because it's causing this plague that is scouring the land called the Dream Scourge. We are not gonna side with her though. We're gonna side with Ringrim, who is this archmage we were supposed to have talked to earlier to get to the temple to begin with. Very confusing, I know, because there's a lot of like sequence breaking going on right now. But we have a fast travel restriction and we're gonna get over it right here. So what we did right there is we basically just like technically finished up the zone. Now to actually finish the zone, to be able to actually leave, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to go to Thirdborn, which is the city inside the zone, and talk to this NPC who's gonna allow us to leave. That is basically how like a lot of the zones in this game work. You have to talk to an NPC to actually leave. And first off, we gotta do some menuing here. This is like one I get kind of disoriented by a lot. Actually, was there... Hold on, let me just double check. All right, almost forgot that, okay. And this is a new ability we got by accepting Soppadal's power and siding with Ringrim, which is, we call it the Ringrim buff. I forgot what the actual name of it was. I checked earlier, but I forgot. It's gonna give us max movement speed for 20 seconds that we can alternate with Giada buff. So at this point, we are like moving around really, really fast. And we're gonna be making our way to Thirdborn. So we're getting to the part of the run right now that is like really, probably the most random part of the run. There's gonna be this big fight that is happening in the entrance to this city. A lot of enemies we gotta kill. The name of the game with this game, the rule of thumb is if there are more enemies, the more annoying the fight is gonna be. And because they can just run around all over the place. So we're gonna go ahead and activate Giada buff right here. I'm gonna cast Blizz. We're gonna use our abilities right here to hopefully kill everyone. Nice, good start right there. I'm gonna drink a pot, use another bolt. We're kind of hoping our bolt works right here. Uh-oh, this guy's running off. Where are you going? Where are you going, sir? Okay, pretty unfortunate RNG. It's okay. I can go ahead and use bolt. If I get lucky, this will... All right, some pretty unfortunate RNG happening here. That's pretty common at this part, honestly. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and sneak attack this guy. There we go, nice. That's a very tough fight. And now we're gonna be doing the part where I go ahead and honor the incentive. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop by this vendor real fast. We're gonna sell some items here. I just need to get to 2,500, which we did, nice. Okay. Then I'm gonna go talk to Temerity, who is the leader of this town. And there's basically two combos that are like stacked on top of each other because we got here way later than normal. And now we have permission to leave. And we're gonna be heading to the next area, which is Gallowayne's Tusks. Again, the game is moving at a super fast pace at this point. Oscar, if you wanna go ahead and read one more dono while we're at it, go ahead.
$25 from Left-Handed Heather, who says, shout out to the best tech artist in the business, my friend Hikari. Avowed was her first shipped game as a professional game dev. So if you ever find yourself admiring the water in the game, you have her to thank. Let's get that good ending. And as you just saw, MikeWave is getting it done. So thank you so much for that donation.
All right, so we are moving now to Gallowayne's Tusks. I have to preface this for a moment. So there was a major skip that was found a few months ago now. Oh, I used the wrong ability here, so totally fine though. By Mr. Eric G, who is a member of our community. Just huge shout outs. He found, this is like probably the biggest skip in the game, honestly. We call it Forge Skip. So normally, we are supposed to go to this volcano that's over there. You just saw it right there. To go fight Ludwin again. That's the first time you technically are supposed to fight Ludwin normally. And also just fight a bunch of Dream Thrall again before we can actually leave the zone. But Mr. Eric here, who is a genius, found out there is actually another way of leaving the zone prematurely by going in for the back entrance, once again, of the final dungeon. So I'm gonna go ahead, do another bolt boost. Nice. All right, this one's kind of scary. I gotta land on this branch, and then kind of hope we don't die here. There we go. Nice, okay.
There you go.
There's gonna be a very slim line I can interact with here. Nice. To get in, this is gonna be the back entrance of the final dungeon, which is lava tubes. And we are gonna be doing another bolt boost setup right here. And nice, we got launched up out of bounds. I'm gonna go ahead and charge over here. And we're gonna be going in. This is the end of the dungeon. And this is the NPC we have to talk to right here, who is trying to destroy Solace Keep, which is where all the dwarves live. and we're gonna side with him so we don't have to fight him. And there we go. By talking to him and siding with him, we have finished the zone. So
Nice.
now, this is gonna take us back to the entrance to the garden, which is the area we have been trying to go to the whole game, essentially. So, we're gonna go ahead and run over to this door. Nice. All right, so now we're going into the garden. This is easily probably the hardest part of the run outside of like Naku Kubel, so I'm kind of disoriented right here. Nice. We picked up these 2 consumable items. I used one earlier called Magrin's Blessing that allows us to get 25% extra attack damage, which is super, super nice for the enemies coming up, who we'll talk about in just a moment, called the Mage Folk. First, though, we got to get across this gap right here. As you guys have known, signature piece of tech coming up again. We're going to be doing a bolt boost to get across this gap. I'm going to do a charge to get on this branch over here, and now we're out of bounds already. And we're basically going to be heading to the end of the area already. This is normally a campsite that you can go to like talk to your companions, like kind of like one last time. And we're already there. And now we got to kill these 2 enemies called Mage Folk, which if you played the game casually, you might remember because they are the most obscenely tanky enemies in the game, even on lowest difficulty. So I'm going to go ahead and stack some spells on this guy right here. We're again going in for the back. We're going to backstab him while stacking all these spells on him. I'm already going to cast this buff. Okay. And now we're going to be doing a glitch that I found where we're going to make a quick save, interact with this lever right here. Normally we were supposed to use the arm from that Mage Folk to unlock that barrier right there. However, if you make a quick save, interact, and then like right away make a quick load, or quick load that quick save, it'll just open right here while allowing us to keep the Mage Folk arm. That's going to make it so right here where we normally have to fight 2 of them, we're only going to have to kill 1. So I'm going to go ahead. Hopefully this all works out. This fight can be really annoying. Again, usual rotation. Go ahead and stack some spells. I'm going to drink a pot here for safety. Try to kill them because they can teleport around. Cast some buffs on us right here while we're waiting for him to die. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running to the entrance right here, classing Cloak, and nice, very, very nice. Okay, so what we did is we hit a trigger at the entrance to this room where all the enemies basically de-aggroed from us and put us out of combat. And then we cast Cloak on us, so again, the enemies can't see us. And now we're out of combat, so we can interact with this lever right here while not finishing the fight. And that is going to go ahead and end the segment right here. We're going to talk to Sapidol one last time. We basically have to decide if we're going to kill her or not. We are going to set her free. We do this even in PB attempts. We go ahead and set her free just because it gives us the fast ending faster. Less dialogue also. And now we're going to hit level 16, and we're going to be moving on to the final strain of the game. This is the Siege. So again, this is again where your guys' incentive is going to come into play right here. So normally we have to talk to our companions right here, but we're going to do a bolt boost over the trigger right here while getting on top of this canvas right here.
Both places
Again, just casting a bunch of movement speed buffs right on top of each other. And we're going to go ahead and initiate the final. This is like the dialogue right here that basically determines what ending you get.
Well, it is.
And we're going to go ahead and set in the good ending right there that you guys bought and paid for. And then we're going to go ahead and go to camp. We would normally not do this, but the way we're going to deal with Ludwin, who we're going to have to fight now, is talking to Giada, and she's going to go ahead and give us an idea. Hey, you can kill Ludwin, actually, by just challenging her faith. Because that is basically what keeps her strong. Funny idea, that. Okay. Well, we basically went ahead and routed in some extra money just so I could respec right at the end of the game. We are at a high enough level where it is kind of expensive to respec. You can basically respec at like any point in this game. And now we are basically just going to be moving on to Ludwin. So again, this is another pretty broken segment right here. We're going to be going out of bounds straight away, like going onto this branch. Jump onto this. All right. You guys saw me. This one could be kind of spooky right here. Nice. Okay. All right. So we're out of bounds right here. And we're going to be cutting straight through. Normally, this is like a part of the game where you would like have to... Uh-oh, I fell down. That's okay. So go ahead. Wow, bolt boosting truly is the solution to everything in this game. Okay. All right, I am actually going to play this safe. I'm going to go ahead and wait for my charge cooldown real fast because there is a huge gap we got to cross here. There we go. One more time, and here we are at the final arena. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a last second respec. We're gonna put 15 points into Perception. We're gonna talk to Ludwin, and we're going to kill her via facts and logic through skill checks, in which we need max points in Perception to do. And we're basically gonna tell her your faith makes her weak, and what's going on here? There we go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and skip this cutscene, and once we get the flash on the screen, that is going to be time and time.
You feel Salvador.
Nice job.
The god of the living lands is observing.
Yeah, that went really, really well. Wow. 39, that's only like 3 minutes slower, I think, RTA than my my PB, which is pretty good, honestly. Wow. Again, huge shout outs, since we're doing them now, to the Avowed community, namely Otto, DMR, Eric. You guys are legends. This game would not be where they are today without their contributions. Otto is the one who found bolt boosting like 2 months back, I think. It just completely broke this game in half, completely changed how it plays. He's a legend. All these guys are legends. Thank you to my commentators. Do you guys have any like last minute shout outs?
Shout outs to Mike.
Yeah, shout out to Mike.
Yeah, and thank you. I think we're done here. Thank you so much, guys.
For answers about the source of the affliction. You told them the truth. How the plague came from a power beyond.